Hits by the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Coast, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two-Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura, out here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we are going to talk about people who get delusional, right? And let me jump right into it. The thing is, to me, there's people that tend to believe they're these legends, or they're these famous people in their own mind, or because, you know, their circle of friends tell them stuff, right? And I'm speaking because I experienced it firsthand with an artist who really started to believe he was famous. You know, and it's just like, it always mind boggles me, like, where do you get this notion from, bro? That you are, you know, this icon and the next biggest thing to come out, you know, kind of, you know, he kind of had this attitude about him, like he was this and this and that, you know. And being the narcissist that he is, he's probably flipping the story, saying that I was the one doing that. But no, the real truth of the matter is, he was the one that thought he was famous. And the thing about it was, I kind of laid back in the cut with that, because I thought to myself, well, maybe, you know, let him, you know, kind of let him do his own thing. You know, he'll get, eventually he'll deflate a little bit and come down to earth about it, right? But when we're around other people, sometimes people will pull me to the side and be like, hey, bro, hey, dog, like, hey, this fool really thinks he's famous, huh? And I started noticing that the more and more of the egotistical that he pushed himself as, and he tried to dress the part and try to do all this other stuff, and walked around like, you know, like, yeah, man, you know, I'm the biggest thing in the room, you know, I'm the elephant in the room or whatever, the more silly he looked. Because he wasn't who he made himself out to be, right? And I say all that to say this: what happens is, and look, and I'll go there, because I watch quite a few different podcasts, right? Some of them which I befriended, and it's cool and everything, right? But I've seen and I've heard stories about certain artists that are a nobody, in a sense, you know, and they push their weight around more than what they really are. They're not I'm not saying, you know, you got to kind of bow down to everything and this and no, it's one thing to believe in yourself and be confident about your craft and about your music, but it's another thing to be overconfident, right? And look, I'll say it like this: even in the MySpace days, right? And those of you who know and who don't know, shout out to everybody in the UK, man. I know you guys are watching. Shout out to you guys. So, when I was doing, I've been doing music for years, right? I was doing music for a lot of years. And even when I put the stuff on MySpace back in the day, and we got access to put it out to the internet, right? Because before, I come from the background where we had actually travel, you know, drive somewhere, get to the place, you know, put the CDs in backpacks or whatnot, and sell them hand to hand, right? Out of the trunk, out of whatever it was, right? So when it was access to put it on the internet, um, I always separated my mind from people I knew personally, right? Because the people around you, 9 times out of 10, there's a couple of things that come with it. Either some of them are gonna hate you, some of them are gonna love you way too much to not, and with that comes not being able to tell you the truth that your music is not that good, or your attempt at trying to rap that song or sing that song was terrible. They're not going to tell you that. So I always separated myself from that, to where I looked at the regular John Doe and Jane Does that came in out of nowhere and be like, hey, I like this song. Okay, cool. I knew I was working with something, but never take it in so far in my head that I felt, hey, I'm coming up, I've had a few people on a couple of different songs, but let's see, it's different shows for different folks, right? So I've had a couple of people, excuse me, tell me, hey man, why don't you think this song ever blew up? Which to me, I'm flattered, because they liked it that much. It may not have been somebody's cup of tea, but it was this person's cup of tea, right? And granted, that's great. But these were real people. These weren't bots, and these weren't just yes man and stuff like that. Where it's just really mind-boggling to me that people really believe that much in themselves. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to believe in yourself, but you got to be realistic. You got to put that in your mind and be like, well, you know what? Maybe you don't got it. Because this homie and that homie and this homie tells you, right? But anybody outside of that circle is not. Nobody's buying your music. Nobody's clicking like, other than, whatever, less than a handful of people. And then there is. I will say this, with all due respect and all due credit, there are some people in the crowd of your friend, within your friends, right? Which I have some that are really legit and really out. They're in our circle as far as friends, but they're outside the circle when it comes to the music, and they're like, hey, check it out, yada yada. I think this is cool. Even though somebody else might say, oh, I don't know, and he gives a different perspective. He or she gives a different perspective of it, and that's cool. But I'm talking about hands down, if your music's not that good, or you are not really, you're more famous in your head than you are in real life, I dare say there's a problem of delusional. Is there really a problem there? Does that? I'm asking everybody out there. I don't know. Does that really exist to where it can be a mental disorder? Right? I tend to think it is, but I'm asking. I'm not gonna put it out there like that, but I tend to believe that it's a mental disorder, because anybody with any kind of right mind and any kind of real logic will see that, you're not that famous, or you're on your 15 minutes of fame and you just entered the 14 and a half minutes, or you know what? Let me take that back. Because there's some people that, at least the person I dealt with and people that I've heard around, Let me put it to you this way, and it's not really a knock like that, guys, but I'm going to be very honest and very blunt about it. You're not even on your 15 minutes of fame. He wasn't on his 15 minutes of fame because he was not that good. So the whole 15 minutes of fame thing, it's not that. It's not that. Maybe this, again, it goes back to everything else. Like when people say, "Whoa, you know, I'm this and this and this and that," you know. Well, maybe, you know, everybody. The problem is everybody wants to be in the limelight. Everybody wants to be the main headliner and stuff. But maybe that's not your title. That's not your forte. You know, that's not where you belong. You know, but that's unfortunate. I've seen, you know, so-called managers become the rap artist. You know, now they're rapping alongside the artist that they manage. It's like, dude, like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? I have a long story, guys, about that kind of stuff. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. Delusional rap artists, independent rap artists, delusional people. It could be in anything that they believe they're more than what they really are. They're egotistical, overconfident, narcissist. I don't know. I'll let you guys tell it, right? But that's really it, guys. That's really all I got to say about that. I just think it's there's an issue there. There's a serious mental issue there with people, you know, because one thing is to be like, oh, I'm coming up. Okay, yeah, if you could be putting all the work into something, right? But if you don't got it, you don't got it. I mean, I'm no carpenter. I can't lay cement. I could probably mix water with sand and a couple of stones and stuff and start mixing cement into it and tell you I'm going to do this and this and that, but I am no professional. And my family could be saying, oh, man, you did a good job. You know, you did it might be all nothing within standards. And I'm starting to feel like, hey, I should charge. It's like, no, take a back seat, folks. Take a back seat to that. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot. Especially now, it's a whole new era. It's a whole new generation. Things have changed. Things have changed. My cough came back as well. But you know, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on nobody, but I would like if they got some help, or if the people around you that you call friends told you the truth. That's just it. That's just bottom line. Don't lie to your friends. Don't click like on something for the sake of that you like the person. You know, it's like this, like the videos, right? With the video, it could be a horrible, horrible video. It could be a horrible song, and I've seen them go over 1 million hits on them, and people think like, oh yeah. You're building the confidence up to something that's really not there. They're believing that they're this famous or whatever, right? But the reason you're getting these hits is because people are laughing at it and looking at it, how terrible it is. It's not a good thing. I've seen it happen. There's a video out there. I'm not going to call it out because, yeah, there's a video out there. Back in the MySpace, they have like over 1 million hits, I believe, or something. I don't know. MySpace. I think it was MySpace. Like one of the first videos earlier on YouTube, it had over 1 million hits. Was it a good song? No, it was not. It was horrible. But that's why it was getting all these hits, because people were laughing at it. It was a joke. You know, you might as well do parodies like Weird Al Yankovic. You know what I mean? I mean, at least he's legit about it, and he is famous, right? But anyhow, guys, stop tuning your own horn. Get some real friends, man. Get some real friends that are going to tell you the truth. You know, there's nothing wrong with anybody having any ambition. There's nothing wrong with anybody having any kind of, you know, a drive, a hustle, if you will. But if you start, you say, well, I'm grinding, I'm doing this and that, I'm putting all this work into it. It doesn't matter if you're putting all this work into it. It'd be like me getting a spray gun with a bunch of paint, painting a bunch of cars, and they look like crap. But I tell you, hey, bro, your cars look like crap. The cars you paint look like crap, Fred. What's wrong with that? Like, hey, bro, but hey, you know what, dude? I'm painting like 10 a day. I'm painting 10 a day, bro. You can't even knock my hustle off. Bro, your cars look like crap. Same thing with the music, bro. You can hustle all day, but if your music sucks, I mean, it sucks. Maybe it's not for you. But anyhow, guys, that's all I'm saying, man. It's just a bad situation that happens. And I'm speaking in general, guys, because I've talked to some of my friends in LA. I've talked to some of the people, I experienced it firsthand with an artist myself back in the MySpace days. And I start to see it more and more. So anyhow, with that, guys, be a real friend. Help somebody out. Tell them, hey, you know what, maybe not. And I don't care even if it's me. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. But anyhow, with that, guys, before we depart from this, want to let you guys know it next week, if you stayed this far into the video, there'll be a special video coming out, a special podcast coming out next week. With that, man, I mean, I think it's a great thing. Again, do I have the equipment that I want to do these podcasts and do an actual podcast with the sidekick and everything? No, but we work with what we have. And I think those of you who don't know and who know will really enjoy this either way. It's going to be a great one, man. Again, shout out to everybody. Sorry, guys. Again, shout out to everybody in the UK. Much love and respect. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love and respect to everybody. With that, guys, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Segura, signing out.
We all family like gorillas. We stay in the circle while you're looking like Urkel. As we listen to Purple and watch the sky starts to rain. I'm the prince of the game. Eddie Vega is a name. You like that, huh? As I scream Kirk Cousins. Listen to the sounds of the underground end of discussion. It's only a sample as the cobra skin starts to unravel. The leopard is my gavel. It's the pressure I handle. It's the king of the castle. Do you wanna wrestle? If not, that don't give me no hassle. Vega always unravels like Jesus' fresh pair of sandals. I'm the truth in the booth with no lies and scandals. Can I change it up? Oh, yes you can. You got to be at ease when it comes to the cheese. Never settle for less. Always get what you're worth. The 30 years that I put is what I'm putting in my hearse. Never did no dirt, no slang or gang bang. When I snap my fingers like Thanos, it made my nuts hang. Welcome to the Star Parade. I am Mr. Mojo Rising. So please kick up your feet and have a seat.